Welcome to our new program, 401k Real Chat. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor for wealthmanagement.com's RPA Edge and CEO at Trow, TPSU, and 401k TV. I invite the most interesting, innovative, and impactful retirement and wealth management professionals that I know, asking them to provide open, honest, and candid answers to three important and at times difficult questions. So let's get real. Today, my guest on 401k Real Chat is Lauren Loehning, a retirement plan advisor and mindfulness and meditation coach. She is a principal and founder of Rise Excel, which is a corporate wellness company, and also a partner in Retirement Impact, which is an RIA. And before that, she had been a director of national accounts at Eaton Vance. So welcome to 401k Real Chat, Lauren.
Thanks, Fred. It's great to be here.
So first question I have, our topic today is on mindfulness and meditation, which just, by the way, is something that I'm very passionate about myself. And I try to meditate every day. What is mindfulness and why should advisors and plan sponsors care about it? And how can they use it for themselves and also to help clients and employees?
Sure. So let me start with the first part, and that is kind of answering that big, broad question of what is mindfulness. The definition that I like to use for mindfulness is the ability to see what's happening in our minds and in our bodies without getting carried away by it. Another popular definition I use when I teach is the one that John Kabat-Zinn coined, and that is the awareness that is created from paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, right? So in concept, these definitions are fairly simple to understand, but when we ask ourselves to do this, it's probably one of the hardest things to do because our mind is hardly ever in the present moment. We spend most of our time kind of thinking about what's next or rehashing some past scenario and very little time in the present moment, which is why mindfulness meditation is a practice. And it's something that we can work on and we can actually get better at. It's very much like going to the gym for our minds, right? We as a culture learned, 5 or 6 decades ago that physical fitness was really important to our physical health, right? And now the science is showing us how important our mental health is, and meditation is an excellent tool to increase our mental health.
In the practice I do, it's to be aware and present, like you say, but then also to remain equanimous, no matter what is happening, pleasant, unpleasant. Mm-hmm. You develop equanimity because that we have control over what's happening to us and how we're feeling in our life. We don't have control over that. So that's a good definition. So why should advisors care and how can they use it, and plan sponsors?
Sure. So I think you would agree with me that everybody should care, right? But specifically as advisors, myself as an advisor, we talk to our clients every day about money, right? And money is interesting because it has so many impacts and it touches many aspects of our lives. And so It can actually affect us physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally. And when we're unaware of this invisible grip that money can have over us, it can lead to a lot of kind of stress and anxiety. And so what mindfulness does, it helps us really see clearly the ways that money can impact us. And, when we can bring mindfulness into our financial conversations with our clients, we can take some of that fear, some of that emotion, some of that reactivity off the table. We're never going to get rid of it completely, but with a mindfulness practice, we're able to make it a little bit less scary for clients because talking about money is scary. There was a study done, I think several years ago that said, I think 44% of Americans would rather talk about death, politics, or religion than talk about money. So we have a big job as advisors to have these conversations. And when we can bring some mindfulness into our financial conversations, I think we're really taking a lot of the fear and reactivity off the table and bringing in kind of wisdom and knowledge and allowing people to make better financial decisions that are in line with their long-term goals and their core values versus this reactionary nature, which many of us feel, we get when money is present or money issues come up.
Yeah, and I think what we're hearing from financial advisors working with individuals, it's less about economics and which fund should you buy. You're more like a therapist and understanding the needs of the client and how do you address the issue. So I think that mindfulness is sort of maybe a third dimension of that,
Mhm.
on it. So I couldn't agree more. Um, so what are you working on to bring mindfulness to the 401k industry, and how has the reception been so far?
Sure. So what I've been working on for it's probably been like 7 years in the making, but I needed to do a lot of learning and education and training first. So probably for about the last 6 months to a year, I've been working on this program called Mindfulness and Our Relationship with Money. And what it is a financial wellness solution for companies and their employees. And we've all seen financial wellness explode over the last decade, right? And participants are constantly coming to their employers looking for more benefits, more wellness, more holistic solutions. And what exists today in the market for financial wellness tends to be focused on education, technical training, maybe some budgeting tools, and even some have some financial coaching, and this is wonderful. I think we are leaps and bounds of where we were with financial wellness a decade ago. But I feel we are missing a key piece. And we as advisors need to kind of broaden the lens on this financial wellness conversation and bringing in questions like, what is my relationship with money? What does that even mean? And how does that affect how I spend, save, share, and grow my money? And how does our relationship with money affect our money habits? How do my core values line up with my financial goals? We as an industry have been so focused on kind of data and technical training, and which is absolutely part of the equation. But in my opinion, in order to move the needle, we need to understand our own individual relationship with money, right? So I've used and just to define what does that mean when we talk about what is our relationship with money? And what it means is looking at how our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions about money impact our financial actions, right? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about our relationship with money. So what I've done is I've combined my teacher training as a mindfulness meditation teacher, my work as a retirement plan advisor, and financial social work into this program that allows individuals to really get to the core of their money issues. So it's a highly personalized training that has mindfulness as the foundation. And we're also integrating some of the latest research in behavioral change. And what it is, it's simply a roadmap for participants to get a better understanding of their own relationship with money. It gives them tools to break bad money habits and bring in new habits that are in line with their financial goals, and really get connected with what are their core goals, or what do they value, not what society deems important, but what do you as an individual value? And let's line that up with our goals. So I've shared this approach with my clients in the retirement plan space, and some of the plan sponsors that I work with, some of the larger record keepers in the industry, and also some wealth advisory practices. And I think the reception so far has been excellent. I've done seminars, lunch and learns with some of these clients. And in the fall, I'll be launching this official kind of 4-week training program that is a combination of pre-recorded classes once a week. It's about 45-minute pre-recorded class. You meet as a group in a live session once a week. And then there's also daily trainings. And so this is over a 4-week period where we're really instilling kind of behavior change. And we're kind of laying the pathway to understanding our relationship with money and really getting clear on how to get from A to B and how to reach our financial goals.
And obviously, I think encourage people to meditate, because it's one thing to
Yep.
understand it, it's another to practice it. And when you
Mhm.
practice it, it's like reading a book on running versus
Yeah.
actually running.
Right.
I think, I think what you're doing is great, because just as we've seen the workplace and the 401k and DC platform is a great way to help people with a lot of financial issues, maybe this is also a good way to help them with mindfulness, because who doesn't care about, or who shouldn't care about mindfulness? So, um, final question is, how did you get involved with mindfulness? Why are you so passionate about it? And can you explain the difference between mindfulness and meditation?
Sure. Yeah, I'll start with the first part of how I got involved. So I started practicing mindfulness about 7 years ago as a way to really manage stress and the pressure I was feeling in my job at the time. I was traveling a lot for work. I had two young kids at home, and it kind of got to a boiling point, right? And so I used meditation as a way to really manage this stress and pressure, and it worked. It was amazing for me, the benefits that I saw almost immediately. So I'm like you, Fred, I go all in, right? So I started working with a career coach who practiced and studied mindfulness. In addition to that, I was reading tons of books. I was doing classes online. And in 2018, I signed up for a 2-year teacher training program. And so I've been extremely committed to this practice for the past 7 years. And my life has benefited in so many positive ways. But as you know, being a meditator, this is hard work. What I do every day, and the meditation I practice, and even this training that I'm creating, it's hard work. This isn't easy stuff. It's not like a one-stop shop for, okay, now all your financial problems are solved. But the benefits of the practice are so incredible that it's hard for me, as someone who's been in the industry for 20 years, not to want to share it. So I'm really committed to the practice. I'm committed to bringing the practice of mindfulness to our industry. And I believe that there is a real fit for it, that when we can integrate mindfulness into the way that we deliver financial wellness and the way that we have our financial conversations with our clients, I think it's going to be a game changer. I think we're going to actually be able to do things like solve the financial literacy crisis that we have in our country. I think we're going to be able to really move the needle. And the training spans, it's not just for people that are trying to make ends meet and don't have a lot of money. It's for people that are extremely wealthy and don't know what to do with their money. And let's bring some mindfulness to what is important to you, and how can we make your life more fulfilling. How can mindfulness kind of come in and help in that way. So I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to share the practice. I think it's beneficial for a lot of people.
Right. Well, thank you. And the meditation I do just for is called Vipassana meditation. I mean, it's all sort of comes from the same root, but that's what I do. And you practice, you learn and you practice what kind of meditation?
It is also Vipassana. I think we're on different tiers of the Vipassana spectrum. I know the meditation that you practice is maybe a little bit more rigorous than the Vipassana that I practice, but it's a meditation and compassion based training that was led by Jack Kornfield and Tara Brock.
Oh,
And
the insight.
yeah, insight. And so it's got a lot of compassion pieces in there, which
I
tends to
see.
come from
Yeah.
them. So it is kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But
There's
it's,
some, yeah.
but its roots are in Vipassana.
Yeah. No, I think they're the same, similar. The one that I do is taught by Essen Goenka, so it's dhamma.org on that, on it. So yeah, and Vipassana, actually, the translation of that is to see reality, to see things as they are. And I think when we come to financial issues with people, we want them to see actually what's going on, what's the reality, because if you don't start with that, you're not going to get anywhere. And then how do you deal with that? And what do you do? And how do you deal with financial issues? How do you be aware and deal with financial issues equanimously? And I think I applaud you for what you're doing, because I think if we can get people to be more mindful, more aware, more equanimous, they're going to have better results using all these other great tools, not like it's a substitute for some of the other tools that's out there. Thank you, Lauren. Want to encourage everybody to reach out to Lauren if they're interested, whether you're an advisor, provider, plan sponsor, wealth manager. I feel very strongly about this, and I think this can help in many, many ways, not just your financial issues. It'll help with your family, your health, all different kinds of things. So like you, I've seen the benefit, and I'm passionate about trying to share it. So appreciate your time today on 401k Real Chat. And thank you for watching 401k Real Chat, and look for some upcoming episodes with other interesting professionals like Lauren, who are trying to make a difference in the industry. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Fred.